All trustees are present except for Ms. Patty Robinson. Welcome. This meeting is being broadcast live and recorded. The recording of webcast may capture images and sounds of those attending the meeting. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the February 26, 25 regular meeting agenda? A motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call. Sandra? Aye. Tammy?
Aye.
Valerie? Aye. And aye. Okay, we have our first presentation, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Central California. Okay, have a seat. All right, hello everybody. My name is Stephanie, program coordinator for Teens in Tulare County. I'm here to present for Big Brothers and Big Sisters as the program manager and as well. Currently here in Oregon, we have 3 school sites: John C. Fremont, John Muir, and Mark Twain. This is when we established Fremont Elementary School in 2019. Mark Twain High School Bigs program was established in 2020. And John Muir Middle School was established in 2022. So this is a little bit of our data from the school year of 2024 and 2025. So our gender of littles, and then we have 51% for female, 49% for male. And then gender of the bigs, we have 87% female and then 13% male. So this is our youth outcome survey. So you can see here we have the increase in positive relationship with family involvement at 99%. And this data is collected in our youth outcome survey that we do with the kids. And then increase in positive relationship with school environment at 99%. Increase in emotional regulation at 90%. Decline in risky behavior and bullying at 91%. And decline in risky behavior and school discipline at 96%. And then we have strength of relationships. So we ask the littles if they feel safe with their big, and it is at 100%. If they seek advice from their big, and it is at 94%. Believe their big can help with solving a problem, 86%. And the importance of relationship with their big at 86%. And that is the little's growth development with their big after being matched for 1 year. So these are some benefits that the program offers to the littles: increased self-esteem, greater tolerance, improved social skills, improved academic skills, improved school attendance, sense of belonging, and then decline in risky behavior. And then for the bigs, exclusive scholarship opportunities, letters of rec, validation of community service, mentoring experience, jumpstart career aspirations, communication skills, and resume builder. And then we do activities with the bigs and littles during the program. So we do educational hands-on curriculum. We also do a Thanksgiving sponsorship. We do an annual holiday party. We also have a Dutch Bros adopt a family. So we select a few families that we serve, and then Dutch Bros provides gifts to every single person in that family. And then we also have had our Big Brother of the Year from Corcoran High School, who is now a college big, who is still a big in the program. And the Big of the Year, we celebrated it in January. And then We have scholarship breakfast, so that's whenever we do a breakfast for the bigs who apply for our scholarship. And then we have summer events, pool party, and then backpack and school supplies giveaway. So this is a parent testimonial. Jenny Reyes.
He's actually more focused in school. He does look forward to going to the program and spending time with his day. That's something he's interested in, something he likes interacting with other people. And I'm thinking someone that's older than him, he's more influenced with that. Most the impact in his home. He's not very focused in doing his schoolwork, so he goes getting behind. And I know that they helped him catch up on his work and be able to pass his classes. He has struggled a lot with behavior. He tells him he needs to relax and think about his actions before he does some stuff. Glad that they gave him that advice, and he's actually taking it. He told me that he talked to his dad about his situation, and he's actually more relaxed around the family. He's had anger problems, but now it seems like they get along more and they're actually talking about what they're gonna do for next big, and so it has changed him in school life and time away from the house instead of just coming straight from school and coming home and being on the video games. He's actually interacting with kids and being out and running around. Thank you so much for taking time out of his schedule and interacting with my child and making his life a little bit easier and being able to talk to somebody his age. I know me as a parent, he might not come and tell me all his problems, but I'm hoping with his age he's able to talk to me and get the guidance he needs.
When I first started out as the Big Brothers program, at first I was really scared that I wouldn't do much of a good job mentoring my little, but as time went on, I felt more confident in what I was doing. I felt like I was doing my job properly, and I'm not only helping out my little, but I'm helping out other little from time to time with the big aren't able. So comparing my experiences then to now, it's improved a lot. And now I feel confident to say I can say that this program is definitely one of the better moments of my life. I don't regret ever joining this program, especially because I love helping a bunch of people, no matter like what their ages were. And for anyone who's doubting wanting to join the program, all I have to say is give it a chance, and I guarantee you, you will like it.
So this was 2025 State of the Year Burnell Callahan. Our next video will show you a little bit about the celebration that we had to celebrate him for winning a Big Brother of the Year. So we do select our nominations. We nominate students from every county that we serve, and we have the honor to award a student from here, from Corcoran, to win this award.
We're here at Corcoran Joint Unified School District celebrating the 2025 High School Big Brother of the Year. We're very excited. We just had a wonderful celebration honoring him and his accomplishments. We could have not done it without an amazing partnership here at Corcoran Joint Unified School District. It is one of the outskirts areas in Kings County that sometimes gets forgotten about, and it's wonderful to be here and just be able to support them with the 3 different high school based programs that we have here.
I've been involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters as a high school administrator, both here in Corcoran and in Livorno. And we've just seen the benefits of the program and the impact on our kids.
I've had a personal experience with Big Brothers Big Sisters. I have a niece and a nephew that are currently in the program, and they're doing really good, so thank you.
I think every one of us, even as adults, needs mentors, and a lot of our kids just need an adult or an older person that's a significant influence in their life and a positive influence. And I think at the end of the day, though, we really want our did the little get the biggest benefit of it, or did the big get a lot of benefit as well?
Sometimes we need somebody else outside of the family that can guide us, because believe me, I have 9 brothers and sisters, and a lot of the times it was difficult to communicate with them, but when having a friend outside that has different interests, it really helps. I've seen the growth in my niece and my nephew, and then the opportunities they have to go outside their homes and be with different people, it means so much to them. So I'm very happy that you're here, and I'm happy that hopefully we'll continue on to grow more.
Thank you, please, class. Okay, we're making the year. We have any words that you would like to say?
Oh my God, I don't even know what to say. I guess all I have to say is, it's just been an honor being a part of the Big Brothers program. I enjoy every little moment about this. From the time I started to all the way from now, I would have never expected that I'd make such a big impact on my little and would have received such an amazing honor. So I just wanted to thank the Big Brothers program for awarding me such a great honor. I love this program so much that I will never regret ever joining.
So we have both. A mentor is not someone who walks ahead of you to show you how they did it. A mentor walks alongside you to show you what you can do alone. So thank you for your continued partnership and for allowing us to ignite potential. Thank you so much. Thank you. Middle and high school? Middle school first. Good evening, board members, district administration, parents, and community members. My name is Susana Avila. I am from Samsung ASD class at John Muir. We at John Muir Middle School, we would like to share what is going on in our campus. On February 13th, the Ag program at JMMS took 35 students to the World Ag Expo. Highlights included were new ag technology, different types of farm equipment, and introduced to different types of ag careers. The Wildcat wrestling team has been busy and successful. The last month, they have 2 girls who for the state championships in Tulare, and 4 boys that have qualified for the state championships in the Wildcat. In basketball, it has been a successful season, and playoffs are now in full swing for varsity. Some highlights are the JV boys ended the season with a 6-4 record, and the JV girls undefeated and finished a 10 out of 0. Varsity boys are 8-3, and the Pioneer in the SAL semifinals on Thursday. Varsity girls are 11-0, and the Kings River Hawks in the SAL semifinals on Thursday. Good luck, Wildcats. The JMMS chess club took a team of 5 to a tournament in Clovis last weekend and had Bentley Gomez medal medal. They are excited as they now get to host a tournament here in Corcoran at the TLC on March 15th. And finally, CASD testing is quickly approaching as all junior and middle school students and teachers are already getting an early start in their preparation. We look forward to getting a great performance on the test this spring. Thank you for letting me share all of this information with you tonight.
Thank you. High school report. Superintendent report.
Good evening. Tonight I just wanted to share the results of our safety survey that we conducted after the conclusion of kind of rotating our safety staff around. We let the survey run for about 3 weeks, and we just wanted to share that with you tonight. Ms. Moreno met with the safety staff earlier this week, and we shared this information with them as well. So the first slide is just basically the number of responses broken down by our sites within the district. We got pretty good response. Fremont was a little bit lower than the other schools, but that's normally what, not that Fremont was lower, but then the other amounts are normally what we get on when we do surveys. Next slide is breaking it down, our 138 responses by classified, certificated, or administration. You can see the breakdown of the responses that we got. The next few slides will just go through some of the questions, and they were yes and no. A lot of them looking at how the respondents felt in certain areas. So the first one was, can you go back? Do you feel the safety staff are approachable and visible during school hours? We have about 81% positive response, and that's usually what you're looking for. If you get 80% or above, that's usually a good sign. So then the next one, do we feel comfortable seeking help from any member of the safety staff? Even higher at 88%, which is again another positive. The next question was, are entrances and exits to the school well monitored? A little bit lower than what we would look for, but we also got a high number of no opinion. So I'm wondering, is that data that maybe just it's people that aren't familiar with, are we monitoring it or not, or did they just feel that this didn't pertain to them? But still 25% as a no. That's a pretty high number that I think we want to address that as we move forward. The next one, this question is wanting to get a negative response. So are you worried about the safety staff's ability to respond effectively to emergencies? You want the red or the no to be a little bit higher on this question, but again, it's still lower. I'm wondering, did that information come because the question was the negative? So was it a bad question or not? That's where we're at, but it's still, I think it's part of something we need to consider when we look at the question prior as well. So again, a little bit lower than we want. The next question is around, were you informed about the change in the safety staff? And this was not a good response, because this shows that we didn't do a good job of communicating to our staff what we were doing and what we were trying to accomplish. So we need to do a better job of that and getting that information out when we rotated staff, that we were looking for input on how we're doing at the other sites, and to make sure that the other sites got to know all of our current security staff as opposed to just the high school and John Muir. Next one, how do you feel about the safety staff's new arrangement? So if you look at extremely comfortable, 42%, 40%, somewhat comfortable. And I think we got this response because we did get some feedback, and you'll see it in the later questions where we get actual short answer, is the elementary schools appreciated having people on staff to help with issues and to be visible on their campuses, especially ones that may not get a lot of attention throughout the day. So I think you see some of the somewhat comfortable or extremely comfortable coming more from elementary. I know there was more questions from the respondents from the high school and junior high, because then they didn't have as many people on campus throughout the day. Next one. How important is it for safety staff to develop relationships with students and staff? You see 1 to 5, 5 being most effective, 91% are at a 5. So everyone does realize that it's important for us to develop good relationships with our staff and our safety staff and our students as well. Rotating safety staff, so basically again on the same scale, 1 to 5, how effective do you think it was rotating our staff in addressing safety concerns across the site? Again, I think you see a little more spread out response based on the elementary schools feeling that they had someone on campus, and you'll see that in the short answer that they appreciated that. And again, I think the other was the lack of communication, where we probably got a wider response as well, because there were too many people questioning, why are we doing this? Why don't we have safety, our normal safety staff here? You know, why is, so-and-so not at the back gate when I come to school? That sort of thing. So again, that comes back to communication. That's on us as a district. Next. So here we're kind of breaking into 138 responses. So I'll be honest, I used AI to kind of summarize it for me. And I guess it's one of the new technologies that we take advantage of. But this was a short answer of what are the benefits of rotating the staff. So the top 3 responses were around familiarity and relationships, 2, site-specific knowledge and consistency, and 3, security, presence, and effectiveness. And you can try to read through the responses. I think that they did feel more comfortable getting to know the safety personnel, which can lead to trust and having people more comfortable with it. But then they also brought up in that number 1, the students struggle with maybe developing a good rapport with that staff and feeling comfortable. And that was something you got a lot from the respondents from the high school and from John Muir. Number 2, again, security staff rotating between to get a better understanding of environment policies and the needs. Again, they argue that consistency is critical for success. So you're seeing from the responses, they want their staff available and visible, but they also see the importance of having consistency in what we're doing as well. And then 3, the presence on campus, being inconsistent, with some schools not seeing safety staff regularly. I think that came more from the elementary schools. And then mixed opinions on, do we have coverage at all sites versus the continuity and accountability of being consistent with people on campus. Okay, next one. Now we went back to kind of a scale, and we had a few questions like this where there's a scaled response and then a narrative at the end. So on a scale 1 to 5, how effective do you think having a dedicated site assigned staff to maintaining school safety? Again, overwhelmingly high for 4 and 5, being that the staff appreciates having someone that they know and are comfortable with. So we'll go to the next one. And then the benefits of a site assigned safety staff, and these were around increased safety and security, building relationship and trust, and then consistency and efficiency were the top 3 and kind of themes that came out in the comments. How safe do we feel at school? 1 to 5, 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest. I would look probably more at 4 to 5 as you're consistent. And here we're at about 71%. Although it's a little bit lower, I think when we look back at our survey data that we did for LCAP last year, it was a much lower percentage of students and staff that felt safe on campus. So that's, I think, a positive for our staff, especially with them being more visible and out amongst all the schools. The next one. Do we believe the current safety staff structure meets the needs of your school? 62% yes, 37% no. Again, I think this was more from elementary feeling they wanted to, and you'll see this in the short answers coming up, is they felt more comfortable with having people on campus more often to address their needs. The next one, and I think these are the last two questions, and they're both short answers. So this question was, what additional measures or resources that you feel that we can have to improve our safety staff? So one was increased security presence, and that was full-time safety personnel, including additional help at high school and middle school, but I think a lot of it came also from the elementary school, having people that are visible. And then that last sentence, security personnel being visible, properly trained and supported by the district. The second one, campus safety enhancements. So we had a lot of input about looking at our fences, our gates, better lighting, cameras, and then controlling the access points. And that goes back directly to that one question about how are we monitoring entrance and exits. So that came out a lot more in this question. They did mention student screening, but I think that's something we would want to look at and weigh before we did something to that level. And the last one, supervision and crisis management. So it's basically around more staff to monitor hallways, restrooms, surroundings, especially in high traffic time, like drop off, pickup, dismissal. So that was a pretty clear theme. And then training and drills and making sure that we have CPI training available to our staff. And that's something we talked about, Ms. Moreno and I did with the safety staff when we met. The next one, this was the last question, is basically, is there anything that maybe we didn't cover that you felt you wanted to share? And so there were three things that came up that were the main themes. Improved communication and transparency. I think that was pretty clear from the one question. We didn't have good communication and sharing with staff what we were doing. And that's, again, like I said, that's on us as a district. We have to improve in that aspect. Two, consistent security presence. And here's where you really came out with the elementary and schools said, like, we need dedicated full-time safety staff on our elementary sites and preschool especially. Again, to maintain stability and be more visible with our schools. And then the last part, proper training and role clarity. So this was the question we posed to our staff our safety staff is, what do you all feel that you need training in? So I think they gave us a few suggestions, but I know they wanted to talk about it a little bit more and then share with us what kind of training that they felt would best benefit them moving forward. So that was the conclusion to our questions. Does anyone have any questions or comments about the survey?
Thank you, Mr. Kemp.
Thank you.
Board of Trustees?
I'd like to congratulate the girls John Muir basketball team, being 11-0. That's pretty awesome. Good luck all the way through league, as well as to the John Muir boys basketball team. Also, congrats to the wrestling team with their two girls qualifying to state, and I believe it's 4 boys who are qualifying to state in Loomis, which is near Sacramento. Also, CHS basketball. It was amazing watching them play. Unfortunately, I couldn't make the last game, but thanks to video production, I was able to watch it from my phone. Unfortunately, we took that loss, but they have a lot to be proud of, and so does the school. With that, also, I'd like to congratulate freshman Luke Toombs for qualifying to Masters in wrestling, and for that weight class, it's very difficult for a freshman to make it that far. So congratulations to the schools for your athletics and also for ensuring that they're students first, student athletes. Thank you.
Thank you. I also want to discuss or talk about the high school. The girls were doing so well as well. I agree. And just again, I think I mentioned this a couple of times already about how important our kids' activities are because it brings the community together. Not being able to find a seat to last game was just incredible. I really, really enjoyed that. For the adult school, I was able to witness a couple of classes they had for the the operator for the forklift, and I noticed that we had a lot of people from outside the community as well. So having a community where people come to train, it's incredible. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate the efforts, and I hope that we can add more classes as well. Thank you. Anyone else? No, okay. Corcoran Faculty Association, CFA. Are they on? Nope. Okay. How about California School Employees Association, CSEA? Nope. Hi.
I am back after a basketball hiatus. A long, very stressful season, unfortunately. But, so, good evening, everyone. Dulce Sandoval, CSEA Chapter President. So I really don't have a full report for you guys. We've mainly just been finishing up negotiations with the district, wrapping all that up, getting that ready to complete, to kind of just focus on finishing out the school year and get tying up all the loose ends before we finish off the 24-25 school year. So everything's been, quiet. Everybody's been just cooperating, teamwork, and everybody. Things have improved. We do need a little bit more improvement on the communication side when it comes to, our site supervisors relaying information regarding, training or different procedure changes and stuff like that with staff. So that does need some improvement. But other than that, I mean, we've had several great meetings with Mr. Jent, with HR as far as issues that we've come across, trying to kind of, as a collective, address them and kind of come to some solutions before they escalate or, they get any further. So for that, we appreciate that continued communication and support. So other than that, that is all I have for you today.
Thank you. Other reports? Local Control and Accountability Plan, mid-year update, Elizabeth Mendoza.
We're going to talk about data. I have the report that is showcased there, so I will hand that out to you. That way you're not squinting at the presentation.
I appreciate that.
Okay, so every year we are required to have this mid-year update. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to compare to last school year. What I'm going to be doing is letting you know if we're moving or progressing to meet our 3-year outcome. So on this report, you will see our LCAP goal number 1, and then the metric, the mid-year progress, and the target data. So that's what I'll be. I'll go over the priority as a whole, give an overview, and then if you have any questions, let me know. So our first goal is to develop a broad-based educational program that incorporates multi-tiered systems of support to enhance students' academic, social, and emotional growth. In that area, we do have priority 1, which are basic services for conditions of learning, where we monitor teachers that are appropriately assigned, that students have the sufficient access to instructional materials, and that facilities are in good order. Our progress as of December 31st, for the first and second portion of this priority, having teachers appropriately assigned and facilities in good repair, we are moving towards our target data
in the 3 years, so we're moving in a positive direction there. As far as teachers being misassigned, that is where we are not increasing into that area. In priority 2, we have the implementation of state standards. So that means that we are adopting standards and really emphasizing them at the school site. And the second portion of that is how the programs and services enable English learners to access those standards. The first portion of this priority, we are pending just because we do not survey our site or our administrators as to how well they are progressing in working with the standards and with their staff until this month. So at the end of this month, we'll have a full report, and that will be noted in the LCAP. In school services, access and enrollment in courses, we have 100% of our English learners assigned appropriately to classes. If they weren't getting services, we did correct that. And we did find a couple that did not have ELD services at some sites, and those were corrected. Priority 4 is the HESD priority. So that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different components ranging from our statewide assessments, the percentage of pupils who satisfy the requirements for UC or CSU, the percent of pupils who successfully complete a CTE sequence, a percentage of pupils who successfully complete courses that are requirements for entrance to the UC or CSU program and a CTE program, so they have to do both. And the percentage of students, EL students who make progress, 1 year's progress towards English proficiency. The EL reclassification rate is included, as well as the percentage of pupils who have passed an AP exam, and percentage of pupils who participate in and demonstrate college preparedness in the EAP, which is an additional report on the dashboard. In that area, our CAP scores took a slight dip in ELA. They took a dip in math, so we're not progressing towards that 3rd year mark. The percent of pupils who have satisfied requirements, the ELs that have made 1 year's growth and our reclassification, so those are the green areas, those we are meeting. Actually, we've either met or we have exceeded where the target was in 3 years. So that's B, E, and S on priority 4 on your second page. We are also not moving towards progress in the areas of students satisfying requirements for CTE, for UC, CSU, and CTE programs. The percentage of pupils who have passed an AP exam and not making progress for pupils who participate in and demonstrate college preparedness on that additional report for college and career readiness. And what we have noticed is that the high school is moving in that direction, but our alternative ed high schools are not. So that's where the dip for the district is taking place and why we are not progressing in that area. For priority 5, which is at the bottom of that second page, it's all about pupil engagement, school attendance rates, chronic absenteeism, middle school dropouts, high school dropouts, and high school graduation rates. The first one, school attendance rate, that is in progress. So So we do not have a percentage, because P2 is not until April. So, but I know we are in the 90s as far as 92, 93% in attendance currently. And our target at the end of the year, in 3 years, is 96%. So we've come a long way from the low, mid, and high 80s after COVID hit to recovering our attendance rate. So we're pretty proud of that. What we are also proud of is that chronic absenteeism rate. We are progressing towards that. We're not at 10%. That's where we were prior to COVID, and most California schools were in a similar situation. But we have decreased that, and decreased the chronic absenteeism to 21.9%, which is better than where we were last year and even a couple of years ago. So we're trending in the right direction. As far as our middle school dropout rate, we want to be at 0, but we do have one, and I think it has been a trend where one student doesn't enroll in a school after leaving the middle school. So they might just leave, and we are unable to enroll them in the next school year, which isn't uncommon. So it could be that they also moved and are not in the California tracking system, which is CalPANS, where we determine, and they're not answering our calls. So because we don't know if they enrolled in that 9th grade year here in California under CalPANS, if it's another state and we can't get in touch with them and they're lost, that would count against us as a dropout for not knowing or being, or the parents notifying us. So we do make a lot of efforts to have our community contacts, administrators and other personnel at school sites track our students from middle school to high school, or from any school that's with us to another school. Our high school dropout rates are at 9%. That is caused, again, not by the high school. I believe the high school has a 0.98%, so less than 1% dropout rate. The dropout rate this prior year was at the alternative school site with a 75% dropout rate. Our high school graduation, we're targeting 90.5% in 3 years. We also took a hit there. And not trending in the right direction. Again, Corbin High School is doing well, but our alternative sites are the areas where graduation is declining. Under priority 6, school climate, we have suspensions and expulsion rates and other measures that can be surveyed to get a sense of safety and school connectedness. In the first 2, suspension rates and expulsion rates,
we are increasing in those areas instead of decreasing. So.
So, like I said, and this is a combination of increased rates, suspension rates at all schools. So, not at all schools, but at some of our schools. Our expulsion rate the same. So we're trying to move that to 0.1%, where we had it before. as the other measures and surveys, those will go out in March, so we do not have any measure to report as of this year. And in our final priority for goal 1, we have course access, which is the extent that we're providing a broad course of study. That means electives, core, CTE programs, visual and performing arts, etc. Programs and services developed and provided to unduplicated pupils, and programs developed and provided to individuals with exceptional needs. We are meeting in all those areas. All students at Corcoran Unified have the same access or are provided an alternative to that access if something is occurring or preventing them from accessing that broad course of study, which means they all can enroll in English, they can all enroll in a CTE program. They are all given the opportunities to enroll in visual and performing arts. They all have PE and whatnot, or given access to have those classes. So as far as expenses, you'll notice the blue columns are broken up into non-personnel and personnel with all 10 actions for our goal 1. We have spent in the green, which is currently as of December 31st, 2024, we have spent $5,887,471.88 out of in the gray column, what we have budgeted for the year. So, so we are moving in the direction of spending in that area. Where you see the dashes, for example, on 1.3, and the dashes are all across, it's because we have not made any expenditures in that line, but hopefully this month and moving forward we will. That is a position that we hope to fill by the end of the week. Goal 2 is to create a welcoming environment, a welcoming, safe, and nurturing school environment that fosters parent engagement and collaboration. So we have the priorities, priority 3 for parent involvement, which includes parent input. It includes participation of unduplicated pupils' parents, and parental participation of parents for individuals with exceptional needs. And our surveys, again, have not been sent out, so we don't have that information, but we are sending home a monthly parent engagement newsletter that shows the entire district events. So Mark Twain, Bret Hart, Fremont, junior high, high school, all the events are on a page, and we are providing parents like a quick snippet of, like this month, we sent out for March, it will be about conferences and what to expect at conferences, and maybe questions that they can ask their teachers. So just providing parents a little extra support in different areas. The January newsletter had information about coming back and what to expect when students come back, and maybe some ideas of restoring their schedules, because we know kids' schedules they go out to the wayside during the winter, at least mine do. So just let the parents know we're coming back to school. Here's what you can do to get them used to coming back and being in school. So that we are making progress in that. As far as student engagement, high school graduation, I've kind of discussed that already, so I won't take any more time there. And then in priority 6, which is school climate suspension, expulsions, and other measures, I covered that in goal 1. So I won't cover that in detail here. But they are metrics that we use to ensure that goal 2 is being met. So we have 3 actions set for goal 2. Currently, we are, at $607,343.07, is in expenditures, and we are trying to hit the target of $1,270,687.33. Annual goals, and this one is school specific. So in goal 3, this is the equity multiplier funding that Kings Lake Mission Community and Corporate Academy receive for stability rates. That just means that their students are coming in and out of different schools throughout a certain period of time. So we get this extra funding. It was new last year and will continue if the stability rate is high at those schools. So it is not a given that we will receive those funds every year for each one of those sites. And the amounts differ depending on the students that are there and that are counted in that stability rate. So here, pertinent to how we're going to measure that students have access to a high quality education and resources for those that have been historically underserved. We are looking at the school attendance rate. Currently, Kings Lake has an 81.9% rate, and that's coming from the school innovation system that tracks all of our attendance. So we're looking at having an increase of at least 1% every year, which in December was not met. And at Mission Community, a 60% attendance rate, which we wanted to maintain the attendance of 95% or higher. And as of December, we're not making progress towards that. This goal is a one-year goal, just because we have, like I said, the funding can change, schools can drop off, so there could be different changes. So when you look at the CalCap at the end of this year, it may not be the same goal for those three schools because now we have been given more specific direction on writing a SMART goal as the goal and then targeting specific student groups within that. So any action will have to, will be targeted in those areas, but that direction was not given this past year. So this is why the goal is not very specific, it's broad, and we're trying to shore it up. So I've discussed the graduation rate under goal 1 earlier, with Kings Lake having a 48.2% graduation rate, which is a decline of 11%. Mission and Corporate Academy do not have data just because of the size of the students. It has to be 11 or more enrolled. So there wasn't enough data. And for suspension rates, again, for Kings Lake was at 46.4%, which means an increase of 40.8% in suspension there. And Mission Community Day School, 33.3% suspended at least once, which is a decline of 8.8, which did not meet the 10.7%. Corporate Academy did not have any suspension, so on the dashboard you see a maintained at 0. Within this goal, we have not made any expenditures, but we hope to have expenditures from now until by the time we finish developing the 25-26. In total, I didn't add goal 3 in this, and it's just because it's a very specific goal that if you look at the prior page for goal 3, that's the expenditures, so I didn't have to repeat it, and it's not included in supplemental concentration. So as of today, $6,494,814.95 spent. Well, not as of today, sorry, as of December 31st, 2024. That was the expenditure amount, and we're targeting to $14,969,000 $1.59 that we have to spend that's written into the plan.
Does that have to be spent by the end of the year?
The 14 million? Well, we are allowed to carry it over, but ideally, it should be spent on the students that it was provided for, which means at the end of this year. And every year we have hit the target to spend supplemental concentration. Thank you.
Okay, public comments. Members of the public wanting to provide public comments on items listed on tonight's agenda, we recommend you fill out the public comment form on the table in the forum and hand it to Gina Gonzalez before the item comes up to the agenda. We recommend you complete a separate form for each agenda item you want to comment on. Members of the public providing public comment, please use the microphone on the podium in the middle of the boardroom. And we do have one public comment. Ms. Dulce Gonzalez?
Hey, good evening. Can you hear me?
Can you push the button, please? There's a talk button there.
Good evening. My name is Dulce Gonzalez, and I reside at 405 Business Avenue. I am here today to speak on behalf of not only myself, but a big majority of the CJUSD parents. We are requesting that the high school administration open up both sides of the stadium for graduation. This year's class of 2025 has well over 200 students expected to graduate. Over the past years, the amount of family members allowed per student has been very limited, and for the past several years, it has only been 10 tickets for each student. We have expressed this for the past several years to CHS through their school site council committees, and they have never really lived into our concerns. Compressing huge numbers of people on one side of the stadium in the peak of summer, where the heat is well over triple digits and the humidity is insane, poses not only a safety hazard for fire codes, but a health hazard due to heat stroke or exhaustion due to the proximity of people without air circulation and body heat from the surrounding crowd. I am a former alumni and graduate of CHS, and let me tell you, I wish that my entire family was able to attend when I graduated instead of only the very limited few allowed. Families will have to choose between what set of grandparents attend, which siblings, and not to mention if you have divorced families with their own separate families, step-siblings, step-parents, and so forth. My child is a senior this year, and we will have to choose who will be able to join us on this momentous occasion that we've been preparing the last 13 years for. We've heard the same excuse over and over again that the students get to decide if they want to open up both sides, since they want to form the graduation year on one side. With all of the technology available now and the huge scoreboard on the field, why can't they form the 25 during morning practice and have it projected on the screen while they are being seated on the field? Why would the students get to decide? This accomplishment is just as much of the parents and families as it is the students, who made sure that they got to school daily and on time for the past 13 years, who made sure they kept up their grades and completed their work, who made sure they stayed out of trouble and focused on school, who made sure that they met all of the requirements to graduate. We parents did, because if it wasn't for our support and dedication, they would not be graduating. Several other schools in our surrounding counties, such as Hanford, Seymour, Tulare, and Visalia, do not limit the amount of family members during their graduation ceremonies. They don't even assign tickets. We are asking that the CHS administration review this information and consider the parents and families' input and request more than the students' opinion. They use the side for about 10 minutes and then it sits vacant while the other side is packed full with families shoulder to shoulder sweating in the hot summer heat. We parents of the class of 2025 did not get to experience a regular H3 promotion as COVID robbed us of that accomplishment. We can work together to find several options that would work, but we parents should not continue to be disregarded from this request. After all, these are our children and we have several more coming to the district. We would hope to get a reply to our request within the next several weeks and have a real discussion. Before you say that it's always been a tradition, traditions are made to be changed and modified to improve with the times and the needs of the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Action items, consent agenda. have a motion to approve the consent agenda items?
I motion to approve.
Any discussion? Wait, roll call. Sandra?
Aye.
Sammy?
Aye.
Valerie?
Aye.
Patty?
Aye.
And aye. Administration, consider the approval of comprehensive school safety plan for John Muir Middle School and Kings Lake Education Center. Elizabeth Mendoza.
These are the additional two plans that we needed to pass by March 1st. So we're bringing them to you. They're very similar to the plans that were brought forth the last year.
Do you have any discussions on them? Do I have a motion?
I motion to approve.
Oh, second.
Roll call. Sandra?
Aye.
Sammy?
Aye.
Valerie?
Aye.
Patty?
Aye.
And aye. Consider the approval of the school plan for student achievement for John Muir Middle School. Again, Elizabeth.
Yes, so this is the other plan from our comprehensive school that talk about how they're going to spend their federal funding, which is Title I. So this is the last of the school plans that we have for the comprehensive school.
Do you have any discussion on it? Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Okay, roll call. Sandra? Aye. Sammy?
Aye.
Valerie?
Aye.
Patty?
Aye.
And aye. Consider the approval of the Menard Lake Preschool Handbook Program. Linda Croft, right?
Good evening. So the Monarch program is something that was recommended to me by the director of the Early Childhood Education Center from KCOE, so Kings County Office of Education. It's something that they've been using for the past few years, and she said it's been a lifesaver. It helps them stay compliant with a lot of state regulations that can change from year to year. So it's a program that provides a template for a handbook and has everything that CDE requires for us to put in our handbook. So it's something that would be helpful for us to stay current and following regulations.
Do I have any discussion? Do I have a motion?
Okay, second.
Roll call. Sandra?
Aye.
Sammy?
Aye.
Valerie?
Aye.
And Patty?
Aye.
And aye. Consider the approval of the Solution Tree Purchase Agreement. Charles Jent?
Yes, this is a quote from Solution Tree. This is, what we wanted to do is we have several different vendors this year providing professional learning for MPSS, PLCs, PBIS. We want to combine all of those into just one order and do that with Solution Tree. It is a consultant that we're currently working with, but instead of contracting out with different people and getting mixed messages, we want to have this all under one umbrella so that we can then develop our guiding coalition that would hopefully include our classified staff as well, and then move forward with our current work with our PLCs and that we're doing with each site right now.
Any discussion? Do I have a motion?
I motion to approve. Second.
Roll call. Sandra? Aye. Sammy?
Aye.
Valerie?
Aye.
Patty?
Aye.
And aye. Consider the approval of board policy. There's several. There's concepts and roles, comprehensive health education, high school graduation requirements, guidance counseling services, and summer learning programs.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Roll call. Sandra? Aye. Sammy?
Aye.
Valerie? Patty?
Aye.
And aye. Okay, these following are the ones that we're holding for the first reading of the following policies. We have management of district access and towns, food services child nutrition program, food service operations cafeteria fund, free and reduced price meals, employee use of technology, recruitment and selection, employee notifications, temporary substitute personnel, bargaining units, employee safety, recruitment and selections, employee notifications, bargaining units, and employee notifications. We'll go over to business. Consider the acceptance of donations of $2,398 from the California Substance Abuse Treatment Facility, State Prison Incorporated to the Corcoran High School baseball team. Danielle?
This included in the packet is the donation form that the California Substance Abuse Treatment Facility and State Prison provided to go towards the baseball team, presented for your approval.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second. Roll call. Sandra? Aye. Sammy?
Aye.
Valerie?
Aye.
Patty?
Aye.
And aye. Consider the approval of Christie White state-funded construction audit. Danielle?
Yes, this is similar to the item that came last meeting, and this is for additional facility projects that we have. So any facility projects that we receive state funding for, we are required to have an audit just to ensure the proper use of the funding. This particular audit agreement is for projects at Mark Twain, Bret Hart, Jones Beach, Fremont, and Corcoran High School.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call. Sandra?
Aye.
Sammy?
Aye.
Valerie?
Aye.
Patty?
Aye.
And aye. Consider the approval of the Corcoran High School Science Building Modernization Change Order Number 13. Danielle?
We are nearing the end of the project for the science building modernization, so hopefully we won't see very many more fees. This is a change order request to level the floor to allow for adequate door height. There were a few other alterations in the building, so it required an additional included in the packet for your approval.
Thank you. Any discussion? Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve. I second.
All right, roll call. Sandra?
Aye.
Sammy?
Aye.
Valerie?
Aye.
Patty?
Aye.
And aye. Resolutions. Consider the approval of resolution number 1393, non-reelection of probationary certified employees. Rebecca?
As we plan for the next school year, we are carefully reviewing our staffing needs and overall district priorities. The Education Code 44929.21 subdivision B allows the district to present resolutions to the governing board to move forward with non-reelected certificated employees for the upcoming school year. So there are two resolutions being presented to you this evening. While these conversations and decisions are never easy, they are made in the best interest of our students and the overall effectiveness of our school. So we will ensure that the proper notifications are made in accordance with district policy.
Any discussion? Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Roll call. Sandra?
Aye.
Sammy?
Aye.
Valerie?
Aye.
Patty?
Aye.
And aye. Consider the approval of resolution number 1394, non-reelection of probationary certified employee, and Rebecca spoke about it. Do I have any discussion? Do I have a motion?
I move to approve.
I'll second.
Roll call. Sandra? Aye. Sammy?
Aye.
Valerie?
Aye.
Patty?
Aye.
And aye. Future agenda items.
I would like to see if we can bring back middle school and high school on the same day for the board meeting. I think we lose a lot, by not having them both yet.
Thank you. Meetings, regular board meetings, scheduled for March 12th at 6, March 26th also at 6, April 9th, and April 23rd, all at 6. Identifying the closed session topics. The following topics have been identified for closed sessions: city matters and personal matters. Public comment on closed session items. Go ahead and adjourn to closed session at 7:10.